Can diabetics join the military? This is a common question that many people living with diabetes have, especially those who dream of serving their country in the armed forces. The answer is, however, not so simple. In this video, we will explain the reason why diabetes is considered a disqualifying condition for joining the military, the exceptions and alternatives that may be available for some people with diabetes, and the latest scientific evidence on how diabetes affects military performance and readiness. So let's get started. First of all, why is diabetes a disqualifying condition for joining the military? The main reason is that diabetes may impair the ability to perform the physical requirements of the military role. People with diabetes need to monitor their blood glucose levels, take medications or insulin injections, follow a healthy diet and exercise regimen, and avoid complications such as hypoglycemia or ketoacidosis. These tasks may be difficult or impossible to do in a military environment where access to medical care, food, water, and supplies may be limited or unpredictable. Moreover, diabetes may increase the risk of health problems such as cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, nerve damage, eye damage, or infections. These conditions may also affect the physical fitness and readiness of a person with diabetes. Therefore, the US military considers diabetes to be a disqualifying condition for joining the armed forces. This means that a person with diabetes cannot enlist or commission in any branch of the military, such as the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or National Guard. This applies to both type 1 and type 2 diabetes, as well as pre-diabetes or gestational diabetes. The military is exempt from the federal civil rights laws that protect people with disabilities from discrimination in employment, such as the Americans with Disabilities Act or the Rehabilitation Act. However, there are some exceptions and alternatives that may be available for some people with diabetes who want to join the military. One option is to apply for a medical waiver. A medical waiver is a special permission that allows a person with a disqualifying condition to join the military if they meet certain criteria and standards. However, getting a medical waiver for diabetes is very rare and difficult. The chances of getting approved depend on many factors such as the type and the severity of diabetes, the level of glycemic control and medication use, the presence of complications or comorbidities, the availability of slots and quotas in the military branch, and the discretion of the medical authorities. According to some sources, only 20% of applicants with type 1 diabetes and 50% of applicants with type 2 diabetes get approved for a medical waiver. Another option to join the military after developing diabetes. This means that a person who already enlisted or commissioned in the military develops diabetes during their service. In this case, they may be able to continue serving in the military depending on their glycemic control and medical evaluation. The military has different policies and procedures for retaining service members with diabetes depending on their branch and status. Generally speaking, a person with diabetes who is on active duty may be allowed to stay in the military if they can maintain their blood glucose level within acceptable ranges without using insulin injections or oral medications that may cause hypoglycemia. They may also need to pass regular physical fitness tests and medical examinations to prove their fitness for duty. However, they may face some limitations or restrictions on their assignments or deployments depending on their medical profile and risk assessment. A person with diabetes who is in the reserve component may have more flexibility and options than a person who is on active duty. They may be able to use insulin injections or oral medications that may cause hypoglycemia as long as they can demonstrate good glycemic control and self-management skills. They may be able to request an exemption from physical fitness tests or medical examinations if they have a stable condition and no complications. However, they may still face some limitations or restrictions on their mobilization or deployment depending on their medical profile and risk assessment. Some studies suggest that the people with diabetes can maintain their condition during active service and deployment. For example, a study by Ruby et al. Found that among 156 service members with type 1 diabetes who deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan between 2004 and 2009, only 3% experienced serious adverse events related to their diabetes. Another study by Bonnet et al. Found that among 1,267 service members with type 2 diabetes who deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan between 2007 and 2010, only 0.6% experienced serious adverse events related to their diabetes. However, these studies also acknowledge that managing diabetes in a military environment poses many challenges and risks, such as extreme temperature, altitude changes, physical exertion, stress, infections, injuries, or lack of medical resources. Therefore, people with diabetes who serve in the military need to be very careful and diligent about their diabetes care and follow the guidance and recommendations of their healthcare providers. Third option is to consider other career options within the Department of Defense or other civilian sectors, where people with diabetes are protected by the Rehabilitation Act and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. These laws prohibit discrimination against people with disabilities in the federal employment and require reasonable accommodations for their needs. For example, a person with diabetes may be able to work as a civilian employee or contractor for the Department of Defense or other federal agencies such as Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Veterans Affairs, or the Department of State. They may also be able to work with other fields or industries that are related to or support the military, such as defense, security, intelligence, law enforcement, healthcare, education, or research. These career options may offer similar benefits and opportunities as the military, such as serving the country, advancing national security, developing skills and expertise, traveling the world, or earning a good income. These are some of the options that may be available for some people with diabetes who want to join the military. However, they are not guaranteed or easy to achieve. Therefore, people with diabetes who aspire to join the military should consult their healthcare providers, diabetes educators, career counselors, and military recruiters before making any decisions. They should also weigh the pros and cons of each option and consider their personal goals, values, and preferences. We hope this video has answered your question. Can diabetics join the military? If you found this video helpful and informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos on diabetes and health. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.